Alright, so I originally wasn't going to make a video on this at all, but I feel like I could offer a slightly different opinion than the general feeling towards this announcement, and a potential silver lining that I will get into later in the video. But if you haven't figured it out already, we're going to be talking about the monetization of the game, Squad. And before we do that, I just want to welcome you guys back to the channel. I appreciate your support. If you guys do enjoy this video, please drop a like, comment. If you guys have any suggestions, something that you want to see, let me know. I'm pretty much guaranteed to get back to you. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read the Steam page announcement that Offworld Industries, the developer of the game, dropped on January 18th. And there's a lot of shit, man, that just pisses me off in here. And it's nitpicky stuff, but it still pisses me off nonetheless. And it's a little bit different than the stuff that you would think would piss you off. And it starts in the second fucking word of this letter. Attention, squaddies. Squaddies, man. It's like immediately I got annoyed. I immediately got pissed when I read that. And this is exactly why, because it's corporate trash, man. It's some guy sitting in an office who doesn't even know what the game is. He knows the name of the game, and he knows that there's people that play it. And he's like, what should I refer to them as? Fucking squaddies. It's just, I don't know. I know this is like just the most nitpicky thing, but it pissed me off for whatever reason. Anyway, attention squaddies. With the upcoming release of Squad version 4.2, we will be introducing something new for both Squad and Offworld as a studio. Alongside the usual improvements, bug fixes, and a game engine update, version 4.27 will be the first update where we add a new form of content to Squad with the introduction of emotes. Emotes, and then in the next sentence here, they actually go on to explain what emotes are, which just further reinforces my belief that whoever wrote this is just completely disconnected and knows nothing either about the game or about gaming in general. I mean, do you really not think the fucking gaming community knows what emotes are? Because I think that they do. And I'm not saying that they're the brightest people either, but I think they know what emotes are. Again, this is very nitpicky, but it just annoyed the hell out of me. The first paragraph already did not sell me on this. As a thank you for all your years of support for Squad, all players will be receiving a free emotes pack on initial release. There will also be 2 packages of paid emotes that'll be sold through an in-game connection to the Steam store. We will walk you through them and how they appear in Squad very soon in another blog. And we will be showcasing more about emotes as we get close to the launch of 4.2. As if we really need to. I mean, it's not hard to grasp what emotes are. It doesn't even really warrant, I guess, just to show. And they did put some of the lame emotes in. And when I say lame, it's not really lame, because honestly they keep it to the point where it's not too intrusive on the style of the game, and we are going to get into that as well. Emotes are a totally optional feature in Squad. If you do not feel like buying additional emotes, you don't have to, and your playing experience will be no different than it is now without emotes. Those of you who enjoy additional customization and a way of showing off your personality in-game that emotes provides are able to purchase additional ones at what we feel is a reasonable price. And this is where I start to get concerned. When they say customization, I feel like they're actually telegraphing. I feel like they're telegraphing their future plans to add customization in the form of cosmetics, which could very, very quickly lead to the downfall of the game. But what they feel is a reasonable price, and they don't actually mention a price. And I could actually see this being $10 for emote packs. So, after years of releasing free updates for Squad, this is our first foray into monetizing Squad beyond the initial purchase. We understand that paid content in gaming can be controversial, and that previous leadership at Offworld had stated that paid DLC would never be added to Squad. Given this, we wanted to inform you of this change prior to the release of 4.2 early. So that's where a lot of people are very angry, and that I am also angry about that. So again, I'm going to continue reading this, and then I'll talk about this. So, why this shift this far into the life of Squad? As we look into the future, we see a long and healthy life for Squad. It is a large and dedicated player base. We have plans for more updates and to support the game beyond 2023. While many of these planned updates will be free, we also realize that we need a way to continue to fund the development of Squad. Paid content like emotes is one such way to help fund that development and continue our work on improving the game. Rest assured that we are continuing to work on free updates for Squad. We will be providing all Kickstarter backers that qualify for physical rewards with all emote packs available at launch for free. This will take us a bit of time as we work to reach out to everyone, so thank our Kickstarter backers. They get into that for the Kickstarter guys. This is the thing. I am not entirely against monetizing Squad. This game has been out since 2015. It makes sense from a business perspective that if you would like to continue developing your game, there needs to be more revenue. Now, this isn't a cheap game by any means. This is a $50 game. This isn't, a $5, $10, $15 game that some guy made and threw up on Steam. This is a big game, and a lot of people bought it. I think over 3 million copies sold. Now, I don't know their numbers or anything like that, but the bigger the game, the bigger the overhead costs, I would think. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know hardly anything about game development. This game has been out, I believe, since 2015, and now it's 2023. This game has been out a long time. That's almost a decade. There's been no paid DLC. I don't believe, at least. So I understand why they're doing this. To just release the emotes, these paid emotes, these generic emotes, there's no like, there's not default dancing or anything. It's not like Fortnite or anything like that. I'm a little upset that I don't think they added anybody flipping the bird, because that would have been nicer. I mean, there's other stuff I'd like to see too, but I'm sure none of that'll ever come. But basically, without getting too far off topic there, I don't think this is as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. And I do understand the new leadership is basically using that they are new as an excuse to break a long-time promise from the old leadership. And it's unfortunate because a new guy came in, there was a promise to do one thing, and they're saying that, well, now we don't have to abide by that promise because we're not the guys that made it, but you are the guys that made it because you're stepping into the company that promised it. Whether it was the CEO who promised it or whoever in that company promised it at the time, now you're walking into that company. It was the company always. I understand why people are mad at that, and essentially now you've just walked back on a promise to never do this. How can we trust you? But as far as emotes, I don't know much about business, but I do know that money makes the world go round. If they do want to continue to update Squad and continue to add content, there has to be some sort of payoff. They have to pay people to do this. So I get it. Now, they could sell this for $2 and make a lot of money. They could sell this for $10 and make a lot of money. The cheaper they make it, the better. Jesus Christ. Black Ops 1 back in the day had, $10 for 4 maps and a zombies map? For 5 maps? I'm pretty sure it was a $10 DLC. Maybe they were $20. The biggest fear for me right now is not the release of emote packs. I get it, it's walking back on a promise. They're probably gonna overprice it. I understand that. The fear for me is the guy that actually came in and is now controlling Off-World Industries. So I looked him up. There's a couple of articles that I read on him. It's this guy, what's his name? Vlad Saraldi, I think I'm saying that right, who is now the CEO of Off-World Industries. So it says here, Saraldi acted as president and CEO of Canadian indie mobile game studio Hothead Games for 7 years before moving to director of development and live operations. Prior to Hothead, Saraldi served as executive producer at Radical Entertainment for 7 years. For the past decade, Hothead has focused on developing mobile games exclusively, including the games that are mentioned here. So I went and actually looked at these games. This is where the red flags are popping up. Right here, right on this guy's forehead. So I went over to the website, and this is Hothead Games, and these are some of the games that they've made. And you can probably notice right away, it's just shit after shit. And I'll be honest, I did not look into gameplay or download any of these games, but they look like shit. It's just dog shit after dog shit, layer and layer of crappy game. I mean, literally, these look like CS:GO stickers that you'd slap on your fucking $1.50 gun skin that you got from a $5 crate that you spent your parents' credit card on. But yeah, look, this game's free. They're all free. So how do they make their money? In-game currency. Guaranteed. These are all in-game currency games. And tell me if I'm wrong, because like I said, I haven't done any research at all. I haven't looked into these games. But there is one thing I did notice about them, other than that, and it's that these are clearly geared for kids. These are clearly geared. It's very obvious this is geared for that kid that is acting up at the DMV. The mom just throws a fucking tablet at the kid and tells him to shut the fuck up. And they end up downloading one of these games and then running up the credit card bill unknowingly because they wanted to buy thousands and thousands of baseball bucks or whatever. That's what I see from this. I really have not done any research into these games. I have no idea. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and these are phenomenal games, but I highly doubt that. That's where my fear comes from. That's where I'm afraid that Squad could very quickly become a cash grab. It already has a big player base. This guy could just see dollar signs and just release paid content after paid content. People are gonna buy it. There's 3 million copies that have been sold. Somebody in there is gonna buy it. And even if, let's say 20,000 people spend money, they just made a lot of profit. So, they will make money off of this no matter what. Do I think we need to uninstall and boycott the game? I don't think it's even close. I think we need to see what they do. Because I genuinely think this far in, they deserve to release a paid DLC. And that's my honest opinion. I do think that the company deserves to do this. I think it could easily get out of hand. And they are walking on a very thin line. But I don't think it's at the point where we need to band together against this particular game. That's just my opinion. Let me know what yours is. I am curious. Now, there is a silver lining that I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So, this game, Squad, just announced 4.2 is going to release on February 8th. About a week after that, there's a new game coming out. And that game is this. Operation Harsh Doorstop. It's got a very, very weird name, but I've been following this game for a couple of months. Well, actually almost a year. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed so far. Now, it's not as polished as Squad. It obviously doesn't have the funding that Squad has, but I'm gonna read you the Steam description here, and you just let me know what you think. I got sick of games with loot boxes and predatory monetization, with no single-player missions or mod support. So our community started making this game instead. A shooter sandbox with all the features a game should have. Oh, and we're funding it on Patreon and giving it away for free. So this game's coming out February 15th, early access. This guy went and made his own game, and he's releasing it for free. Is it worth the Patreon donation? I have no idea. I've never played. I recently just requested to get in early and start playing some of their playtests. But it's kind of irrelevant at this point because it comes out in less than 2 weeks. Now, if you're paying attention to the little video that's playing, you might notice that this game takes place in several theaters of war. They have World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Cold War era, and Modern Warfare. 5 eras. It's a very ambitious project. I don't know how good it is, but this is a potential silver lining. With the announcement that there's going to be monetization in Squad, this may be a game to jump ship to, should things get that bad. which I again don't think we're at that point yet. But I wanted to leave you guys with a little bit of good news. Anyway, I'm not going to beat this to death any more than I already have. If you guys enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Thanks, guys. You guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.